What was the focus today? How you felt about how good it was?
Today was a lot of cleanup. Again, we've gotten some really good work in. So now it was about the details and working on the execution and that type of stuff. But I think we're further along, which is a good thing. We just got to keep playing. I think the guys have an understanding of what we want to do, but now we just got to get the reps of playing more so they can figure each other out a little bit.
What have kind of been the main goals you've laid out for camp, and now that you guys are getting into live work and everything, that's kind of the goal?
We're focused on our conditioning. I think that's where, we can have an advantage. Obviously with our depth, but being in better shape than our opponent in the fourth quarter can have a big impact for us. For all of our guys, like the message is, imagine if you can do what you do at your best, harder and longer than your opponent, then you automatically have an advantage. So we want to have that attitude mindset as a team as well. He's awesome. He really is. He's one, defensively, you watch the impact that he has, and offensively, he's got one of the deadliest right hooks, that the league has seen. But his personality is engaging as well. He knows how to have a good time. He's comfortable with himself. His teammates cheer him on. He's really, really engaging and fun to be around.
Going back to the conditioning thing for a second, JB, are you introducing or doing anything different, unique with conditioning as opposed to years past?
No, we are running more. Not just there's not a new trick or but we are running more. We have more of an emphasis on just old school sprints even that we hadn't done as much in the past. We really like to do basketball conditioning. Where guys have the ball in their hand and they're doing things full court. But this year we have implemented more just old school sprints.
Suicides?
No, just sprints.
Just
sprints right now. Yeah.
Are suicides coming then? You said
I'm gonna blame you when they do come up and see how they react to that.
And yesterday, Darius said that vibes here at training camp are quote unquote immaculate. What are you doing to create immaculate vibes?
I don't even know what that means. It's this group. It really is. And we're fostering the relationships that they have and the way that they treat each other and the way they carry themselves, on the court, in the locker room. We're going to have a good time, But our guys understand the difference. When it's time to go to work, we go to work. But we can be purposeful and still have a good time. And that's this building. And that's what we've been working to create.
There's only one ball to share, obviously, but with Jarrett offensively, what kind of improvements do you want to see from him, not only in the preseason, but obviously the upcoming season, and how he can kind of get into his game?
So much of his game is based on the pick and roll, and it's a lot to do with the guards making sure they get him the ball in the right spots. I think he took huge steps last year in working with his footwork and his back to the basket game when he did get his post touches. So we just continue to work on that. It's not about reinventing the wheel with him. You know what I mean? It's can you just continue to get better at the things that you do well? Because what he does is impactful to the team. And him stepping outside of that could be a detriment to the team. So we want him to continue to play to his strengths and just get better in those areas.
How has Karis looked this training camp, and how was that different from maybe him coming over mid-season last year? Darius said he might have felt a little uncomfortable at times.
Yeah, that was tough. Obviously, trade and injuries and stuff like that. But he's been great. He really has. He's been dynamic on the offensive end of the floor. Not only creating for himself, but finding his teammates. And then defensively, he's done everything we've asked him to do and more. He's taken one-on-one challenges. He's been a great team defender. So he's had a really good camp so far.
On Media Day, JB, you said one of the things that you were trying to get across to Evan was what he means to this franchise. What does he mean to this franchise?
Without trying to put too much on him, he is the guy who can help take us to the next level. We understand the value of the guys who have done it, right? Darius has been an all-star. Jarrett was an all-star. Donovan's been an all-star. Vert, Kevin, like we understand and have an appreciation for those guys. His skill set and his tools, right, can help take us to the level where we want to go. And, the expectation that it happens overnight, probably not. But I expect, from a year to year and month to month, you're going to see improvements from him because that's who he is.
Were you pissed that he didn't win Rookie of the Year?
I felt he deserved it for sure. Disappointed, more than pissed, but still you understand the nature of it. But he in our mind, he was the Rookie of the Year.
With how much he means to the franchise and trying to convey that to him, how do you balance that with not putting too much on the plate of a second-year player?
It's his personality, to be honest with you. He is mature but beyond his years, and he's earned our trust as a staff and his teammates' trust because you watch him play, and no matter the moment, the only focus he has is winning the game. There hasn't been a time where he was like, I have to be selfish or, I have to just stop my man and not help the team. Like, the only thing that he's proven in the amount of games that he played last year is that he wants to help us win. So if you just approach the game every day that way, like there is no too much on you because you just have to go out and do that same job.
How rare of a thing have you found that to be throughout your coaching career for a young guy?
It's extremely rare. Like so many guys who come into this league, at that age have so many different agendas, right? It's the nature of it. It's, the brand, it's the social media, it's all this, other stuff. It's, fighting and working for a contract. There's so many outside factors, that guys are thinking about. But, he is singular in his mindset that whatever happened is going to happen, but we have to win this game, and I got to do whatever I can to help my team.
So you mentioned you want year-over-year, month-over-month growth with him. What's the biggest step he's taken recently?
I think it's his aggressiveness and his physicality with the ball in his hands. You watch him now, and he's defensive rebounding and pushing the ball, and now he's finding angles and gaps, and he's attacking those angles and gaps. Being more assertive. Then he just makes the right play, and I think that's where, at his size, to be able to attack people, force help, and off the bounce make passes, that's difficult for a lot of guards. But to be able to do it at his size is what makes him so unique.
And how about with Jetty? Just his overall impact so far through camp and expectations for him?
Jetty's been good. We've had a really good camp. And, Jetty obviously is a big part of that. He's in great shape after coming over with just having played. He's got great energy, both sides of the ball, so he's been really good as well.
What is
Booby Gibson doing here?
He's going to be working with our G League team. Yeah.
Going back to Kirsten.
That's right.
When you looked back at when the last couple months last season, camp and everything, what stood out to you as areas where we can hone this more with Harris, we can use him more in whatever capacity has kind of been sort of steps you guys want to take with him?
Well, I think his off-ball approach to the game is going to be a little bit different, obviously. When you have three guys who, played the game with the ball in their hands primarily, he's going to be off-ball more than he probably is on-ball. And then he's going to be playing against closeouts more than initiating with the ball on the floor. So those are things that we've been working on. He is a really good spot shooter. We expect him to get a lot more open spot shots, so continuing, to take those shots instead of looking to put the ball on the floor and trying to increase his amount of three-point shooting shots.
Can you see him being a
Yeah, he's got the tools. He's got the length, he's got the footwork, and he's got the will to do it. So, we've been talking to him a lot about that. And you can see it, he wants to take those challenges and show that he is a two-way player.
Donovan was talking the other day about because he doesn't have as much responsibility offensively, that alone can help him become a better defensive player. Have you seen that from guys in the past? Do you buy into that?
Yeah, when you have to carry the load of an offense and an efficient offense, you got a question? a highly efficient offense the way it was in Utah for him, that's exhausting. When you have to be the guy that makes the majority of the plays and the majority of the reads, not only for yourself but for other people, physically and mentally, that's taxing. So when you do have an opportunity to play with guys who can take some of that burden off you, you do have fresher legs. You can exert yourself more on that end of the floor. And it's also a matter of like what you've been asked to do. You know what I mean? Like, when you have to be that guy, a lot of times as coaches, we will put you on the weak side and try to hide you so you don't have to, chase as much or guard as many pick and rolls. So, some of that is that as well, but we know what he's capable of. And, again, he wants to be a part of what we're doing. He doesn't want to be the outlier. He knows our culture is defense, so he wants to add to that.
All right, that's it. Thank you.
All right, thank you guys.
Thank you.